Bolaji Owasanoye, who is the chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, the ICPC, says 257 projects amounting to 20 billion naira were duplicated in Nigeria's 2021 budget. The ICPC chairman, while speaking at the Third National Summit on Diminishing Corruption in the Public Service with the theme Corruption and the Cost of Government's New Imperatives for Fiscal Transparency, said the commission tracked 1,083 projects across the country, with the exception of Borno and Zamfara, owing to security challenges. Joining us to discuss these headlines is Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Good morning to you, Chika. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you make of this spending, or rather overhead costs of 60% attributed to travel, maintenance, and the likes?
The sad thing, you know, that all these things is funded from what? Borrowed money.
Yep, that's correct.
It's not surprising, therefore, that you see our debts each period, you know, piling and piling and increasing and increasing. And then you wonder what's happening. Even before I look at this, look at even the revenues.
Yeah, for the country.
You know, there's one other story that I guess you didn't take, and which had to do with the fact that out of about daily, there's a report that said daily about 400,000 barrels of our oil is lost to bunkering.
Wow.
Indeed, Governor Wike, when he was addressing the chief of naval staff, thought about that it looks like everybody's involved, and so nobody checking. Those who are supposed to check, prevent the bunkering, are profiting from it. You know, I normally tell you the money is sweet.
Correct, you said that.
So you know, everything adds up. Look at it. Remember that in the last 3-4 months or thereabout, we're not be able to take up our oil OPEC quota.
Yes.
So during this period of high oil prices, we're not able to profit from that because of the fact that a lot of leakage has been happening daily, 400,000 barrels, and nobody's talking about that. It's so much easier to go out there, you know, borrowing money left and right. So even on the revenue side, that automatically government should do something about. Nobody's doing anything about that. Now you brought up this issue of most of 6% of the overhead is spent on frivolities, you know, ghost workers, you know, wasteful capital projects. But what is new? I mean, we have always known this. And he used those words, systemic corruption. I mean, they have been endemic in the MDAs.
Yeah.
And look at the MDA budget. They're actually going up.
In fact, we have it. I was going to ask you that. The chart, I think it's up 119, 3.6 trillion 2015, 5.2, 7.9. It's incredible.
This is a nation that consistently, when we budget 100 naira, we never achieve 50 naira.
Right.
Meanwhile, we exceed the expenditure budgets. And most of the expenditure budgets are all consumption. You know, stationary. In this era, where most governments are going digital, you can imagine, you know, stationary. I used to audit at the time, and you go to some of these offices, you find stationaries are ordered, they don't need.
Wow. Because
some people will just want to make some money.
Right.
Because most of them are padded, you know. Yet, remember, it's so much easier to just go there and borrow. And we're funding all this lifestyle with borrowed money. You know, so I'm happy that Boss Mustafa, you know, I mean, they know about this, we all know about this. And it's called systemic corruption. It's there, it's very endemic. But the issue is, we keep saying in this program that if we borrow for consumption, the economy does not get anything.
Right, yes, you have said that.
It's lying in individual pockets.
Yeah.
Ghost workers, fake contracts, stationaries, fake training programs, you know, fake travels, you know, and the economy is losing all. And so it's a major issue for us, especially in this current situation where our debts are just, you know, spiraling away.
Rise. Boss Mustafa said the federal government is working towards reducing this cost. Is there any evidence that...
What do we see? I mean, every budget cycle, the expenditures will continue to spiral. It's just the MDA's one now. And every budget cycle also, you find that revenues near achievement 50%.
But the expenditure
101%, 120%.
Right.
You know,
right.
That's what we'll see. So what do we see? What's the help? The original report, every time you sing like a national anthem in this program.
Right.
And that I've gotten tired almost. The committee has been set up some time ago, here some time ago to deal with it. Well, you know, in Nigeria, a committee will review the work of the committee, and another committee will review the work of the committee. And so, before you know it, this government tenure will end, and nothing will be done. And so much easier. You know, somebody lately was asking me, like, who's still lending us money?
Considering what's
all the things happening
for the prior one.
You know.
Yeah. The ICPC, the padding, the projects,
still wasteful. You know, I mean, today you're just dumping wastefulness on me. You know, more than 20 billion on budgets that were like double counted. Projects have been double counted. These are the ones that were caught.
Exactly. What about the ones that have not?
Those that slip through.
Right.
That slip through. And it happens every budget cycle. Individuals, knowingly, if you understand how the budget process is done in the MDS, you will find that everybody's on a take.
So they're incentivized.
To get to the, so then they know that somebody has budgeted it before. But everybody's interest is protected. And people not just nod their head and let the projects, slide through to the assembly, the houses. So it's a problem for us. Meanwhile, all this again is funded from what? Borrowed money.
So, Chika, do you have any hope that there will be a turnaround? I mean, there's an election in 2023. There's less than a year to go. What's the... We've talked about this over and over again. What's the solution here?
You see, it's just I'm a Nigerian, through and through, because sometimes you say maybe the best thing that happened to us is like let the oil prices crash, because maybe sanity. That's when a lot of things become real in our country. And that's when we start saying, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do this. Look at subsidy. You saw the report also. You had it on the report. Yeah. About $4.5 billion have been spent on subsidies. And then we have screamed down in this program that's not good for the economy. Yeah. But you see, a lot of things have to be done. Again, it requires real diligence and sincerity. And focusing on the long-term future of our country and devoid of short-term popularity and politics. And that's what we require. Solution will require. For the nationalists to rise up and say, this is good for our country. I'm willing to fair the popularity contest in the short term. But let it be known that I've done this for the country.
All Rise business analyst, Chika Mbon. Chika, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. It's the Global Business Report on the Rise Newsroom.